Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is Why Do People Stare at You? So, this one was also requested. Okay, so why do people stare at you? What do they see when they look into your eyes? Let's see. I have three piles for you to choose from. As always, you are welcome to pick more than one, but please pick using your intuition. I'm going to give you all a second to pick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. Alrighty. We're gonna go ahead and get started with pile number one. So pile number one, why do people stare at you? You have this Zen vibe to you, but your face card is top tier. People often wonder what you think about since you're nonchalant on the outside. So, pal number one, you could be somebody who, when you go in public, you're stoic, you're minding your business, you're polite, but you're not trying to make small talk with people. Like, people can tell that, you're in your own world, you're in your own zone. Like, people can tell that, you're somebody who desires and craves peace. Like it's just written all over your energy. People can feel that high vibrational energy. You could have also people who try to get a reaction out of you, pal number one, but I feel like you don't give them one because you understand like how energy works. It's like, why would I give away this energy that I'm curating, that I'm using for myself? Why would I give it to you just so that you can run off with it and use it for yourself? Like, if you think about it, people really just try to trigger you so that they can get energy, so that they can build up themselves. Like, people feed off of energy. Some people who don't know how to like cultivate that their own energy, they steal it from other people, and they do this through getting a reaction, whether that's a positive one or a negative one. But most times people do it in a negative way. So you may have people who try to elicit like certain reactions from you, but I feel like you pay them dust every time. And I feel like these kind of people get karma every time because it's like you have such a high vibrational energy that the energy that they send you has nowhere else to go but right back to them. So it's like a boomerang effect. Okay. All right, pal number one. Let us get into your channeled messages. So we're going to read a little bit for now, and then I'm going to get back into it in the end. So, pal number one, I was picking up music for you. So you may like you walk around with headphones a lot. You may have like pretty headphones, decorative headphones, and something just stands out about it. And if it's just like plain, like let's say you just have some black earphones or some white earphones, it's like every time people see you or when you go places, you always have on earphones. It's like you're tuning them out. Like you may be somebody who goes shopping with some headphones on because you know how people are in a grocery store. Like people act crazy. Like I don't know what has happened over the years, but as I've gotten older, I understand like why my elders was ready to get out of the grocery store because how crazy people act. But I was picking up this song by Alina Baraz, and it's called Can I? And it's interesting because after I heard that song, I started hearing the song by Kaylani, and it's the exact same title, Can I? So with both of these Can I's, you could be a Gemini here, or there could be like a certain duality that people see when they look at you. There's a feminine and masculine type of energy people can see when they look at you. Like you embody both so effortlessly. And I feel like people may want to ask you things like, "Can I, like, take you out?" Like, it's given that kinda energy where people can have crushes on you, pile number one, because I feel like you're very physically attractive, but I don't feel like you're one of those people who cares about that. Like, you may be like, "I know I'm attractive, but I don't live my life, like, using my looks to get me places." It's just like, I wanna be at peace, my looks are just a bonus. Like, I feel like you're that kind of person, pile number one, where you're not very like braggadocious about how attractive you are. And this is something people see when they look at you. Like they can see that you're humble. Okay. Okay. So let's get into the cards now. That was a little bit of channel messages. We will get We will go back and read the rest, but for right now, let's get to these cards. So the first card you had was the Hierophant, followed by the High Priestess. So what did I say? That feminine and masculine energy. So it could be in the way you dress. Maybe you like to dress like tomboyish and you have some feminine elements, and then if you're a man watching, it could be the same thing, like you dress masculine but you have like feminine elements to you. So take what resonates, okay? But with the Hierophant and the High Priestess, these are very highly in tune spiritual energy. So people can tell that something about you is different. People can just sense your peace. It's just something about peace where people can feel it on you. That's why they go through so much trouble to take it away from you. Because peace is something that you have to really cultivate, and it's scarce. It's something that's scarce out here. It's something that people crave so badly that they'll try to snatch it from somebody else if they can't have it. And then you have these other people that try to take it from you, thinking that, like I said in the beginning, they want to take your energy and use it to build themselves up. So you have those kind of people too. But I feel like pal number one, you have spiritual boundaries. That's what I'm hearing. Spiritual boundaries. You may be somebody who, you wear certain type of crystals here. So people could stare at you because you may wear like a lot of crystal jewelries or a lot of like amulets and things that protect your energy and keep you grounded. So I feel like you have this force field around you. It's something that people can feel. It's kind of this energy of like, I can't really mess with pal number one. It's something where people just know that it's something about you that is like tempting. Like they know they're not supposed to mess with you, but some people do it anyway. Okay. So have you ever seen like small children? They know you tell them like, hey, don't go in there and eat those cookies. They'll go in there and eat them anyway because it's tempting. It's something like that about your energy, pal number one. Like people will try to test you, people will try to play with you just because they want to see what's gonna happen. It's like I've used this example in another reading. You may have came from that pile, but it was a reading. I can't recall what the exact reading was, but I remember talking about how, how people go into haunted houses and they're like, this house is not haunted. And then they see like all the paranormal activity and get scared. It's like people try to test you. Like, if you get the analogy, you know what I'm saying. It's like people will think like, oh, nothing is gonna happen, and then something happens. So that's why I say, like in public, when you have people doing weird stuff, like they get their karma, okay? Like because you have such a beautiful energy, like I said, the energy has no choice but to go back to that person because what you put out, you get back. Okay. But yeah, it's like people see you as sometimes this is what I'm picking up too, pal number one. Sometimes people see peace as weakness. It's like they know, like intuitively, they shouldn't mess with you, but it's like they want to because people feel like they override that intuition. They go based off logic or what they're seeing with their physical eyes. Like, oh, this person doesn't look like they're gonna do anything. Let me pick on this person, and then they get karma, like spiritual karma. Okay, for years, like you are divinely protected, pal number one. I'm really getting that because you really mind your business, like, and you're a chill person. So it's like there's no reason for people to be throwing negative energy at you. And if they do, then it's something wrong with them. Okay. Don't question yourself, pal number one. If you constantly experience this, just keep protecting your energy and know that a lot of people, it mentally, it is something wrong. Okay. So don't take that on. Just keep doing the inner work and continue to love yourself so that every time you deal with people that are on these frequencies, it's always going to go back to them. Okay. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands. So it's like you're winning. Okay. And also it's given like the face card is top tier. And this is not the type of lingo that I use, pal number one. So this was definitely channeled. So it's like with this energy here, you're always winning. It's like something about you is very successful. We have the Capricorn card. You're very successful. So you could make like good money here, or there's just something about you where you have multiple achievements or some type of status. So somebody here could be a model. You could be a model. You could be doing something like creative, okay? Because you have the creativity card. You're very creative. Oh, or you could be like an artist or like an artist like that paints or writes, okay? You do something very creative and it adds to your beauty because you're not somebody who's just physically attractive. Like you have all these other qualities that just make you even more and more beautiful. So you're very creative. And this is that orange energy. So you're also like you know how to get in your feminine energy when you need to. You use your feminine energy with your creativity, and I feel like you promote it with your masculine energy because Capricorn is feminine energy. I feel like you are somebody who you move in silence. I feel like people stare at you because they can just feel that there's more to you, okay? Like, people just can sense it. With the Capricorn energy, you do appear stoic, though. Maybe you're somebody who has the RBF, the rest in BITCH face. You know, you may smile when somebody smiles at you, but for the most part, you could just have a serious demeanor, a serious look. Saturn in the first house kind of energy here. Take what resonates. Okay. The next card that we have is divinity. So it's like there is something about you that is highly spiritual. People can sense it. And it may be in the way you dress. You know, you could have like a certain spiritual aesthetic, but I feel like it's more so within your energy. When you come around, it's like this beautiful force field that just makes things peaceful. Like people feel calmer, people feel more relaxed, and they don't know how to explain it. So that's why you may have people when you're out and about, pound number one, that come near you. It's like your energy is healing. Like, think of it like this. It's like if you're freezing and it's winter and it's freezing and somebody turns on a heater and it's in one area of the room, the people in the house are gonna go to that area of the room to get warm because it's cold, and they know that the closer they are, the warmer they are. That's the analogy the spirit is giving me, so it's like you have this warm energy to you, and it can get irritating, but you have a healing energy. That's why you need to keep your spiritual boundaries. You're doing a good job with that, pound number one. Just keep it up because, you know, people will try you, but you have to understand that people will get triggered by the light. You have to accept that and not blame yourself and not take it personal because it's medicine for them. They just don't like it. Okay. The next card we have is harmony. So your energy is very harmonious. You are, and then this is a number 10 here. So you're very peaceful because you've completed so many cycles. I feel like you've been through a lot of trials and tribulations. So you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and you use that accordingly. And people can see that. I feel like also people can see like when they try to like do something to get a reaction out of you, the way you handle it, like your maturity. People can see your maturity here, and it makes them have to reflect on themselves. Okay. So the next card we have is you make it look easy. So the way you're spiritual, you're peaceful. You could be a tarot reader here, somebody who's highly intuitive, and people can just see that. Maybe you have status because of that, and people see you online. Okay. But for others of you, it's just the way you carry yourself. People think you make it look easy, but I feel like it took a lot of effort and practice for you to get to where you are today. It took a lot of effort because Capricorn is building up something. You've built up your energy, you've built up your spirituality, you've built up your confidence, and people can see that. And the last card we have is pedicure. So you may have really pretty feet. You always may keep your toes done, or there's just something about your feet that's very beautiful, and that's why people may stare at you. But let's get into the channel messages, pile number one. So, also, there could be something about your bone structure that people really like your jawline, something like that, okay? People really like your aesthetic. People can just see that you're successful. It's something about that. People can see maybe when you go places, you have like a debit card or a credit card, or it's just something about you that looks like successful. Like you kind of come off like a celebrity, pal number one. That's what I'm picking up. Like very exclusive type of energy. Okay. So we already talked about the headphones, and it's just something about you being spiritual. People can just sense something about you that's enlightened, okay? But yeah, that was pretty much it, pile number one. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. Peace. Hello, pal number two. Why do people stare at you? So, pal number two, I just get like you have really good taste in jewelry. So, you may wear a lot of rings, a lot of earrings. Maybe you have a lot of piercings. There's something noticeable about jewelry when it comes to you, and that's why people stare at you because they may be admiring it, or you may give people ideas like, wow, I should try that, or I should get this pierced, you know? There's something about your energy that is just very expensive, okay? So you may like high quality things or you just take really good care of things so they look expensive, okay? It's something about that kind of energy where you just are very polished, very posh, okay? That's why people stare at you. So let's get into some of these channeled messages and then we're going to get into the rest at the end. I'm just going to read a little bit before we get into the cards. So, pile number two, there's a song by Drake called Started from the Bottom. So, there's something that you've done. You've built a business from scratch or a brand from scratch, or this could even be like your self love journey, like you've come a long way. And this is why people could stare at you, okay? It's something about you where people can tell you've had an evolution. So somebody here could have had a glow up. Okay, that's coming through as well. Like you look different. Okay. You're self-made. There's something about you being self-made and you're very neat. You can have very neat handwriting or you just like there's something about your appearance that's neat. Like your makeup is very neat, your nails are very neat, like it's very much in order. And that's why people stare. It's like you when you what I'm getting with you, pound number 2, is like when you dress, you don't come to play. I'm picking up fashionista vibes. It's like everything just goes together, everything matches, and it's very neat. Like your hair is neat, your makeup is neat, your lipstick is not smudged. Like you don't play about that. Or if it's gloss, it's like the gloss is applied perfectly. You know, I feel like you have a self care routine, and people can tell. That's why they stare. So let's get into these cards. So the first card that we have for you is the Wheel of Fortune. So again, you could have built something from the ground up and people can see that it's working in your favor, like all the work you put into it because we have the Page of Pentacles. So you started from the bottom with something and you've built it up and people can see how it's helped you grow, it's helped your style grow, okay? Because now you're able to afford the lifestyle you want to live. Because I'm hearing content creator. So somebody could be a content creator here. You do something online or you have a online business because we have the world card, so you could do something online where you're connecting with different groups of people from different places of the world. So you could ship to different places. So I'm picking up like somebody that has a business. The next card that we have is the 4th house, which is like Cancer energy, mother energy. So somebody here could be a mother. You know, you could be a mother that, you know, maybe you post your family online or, you know, you post things for other moms, you know, to help them on their journey of motherhood. And this is why people may stare at you, okay? You also are somebody who you may talk about your emotions because we have Virgo and Cancer. So maybe you talk about emotions and maybe your business is like involving mental health in some way. Okay. And this is why people could stare, especially online. That's what I'm picking up with. A lot of this energy is like people looking at you online rather than like face to face. Okay. People could see you as somebody who's very family oriented or a good mother, a good father, a good parent. Okay, the next card we have is Virgo. So people could see you as somebody who has a really good work ethic and you're healthy. So maybe when you go to the grocery store, it's like when people look in your basket, you have a lot of fruits and veggies and tinctures and little kombucha juices and stuff like that. Yeah. Because with daily routines, you could go somewhere routinely. Okay. So I was picking up how people were seeing people online mostly, but okay, we're getting more into this. Okay. So I am picking up on some people seeing you in public. So if you go somewhere routinely, like let's say you go to a certain grocery store, it's like people see you and they think that you look very good. And every time they see you, you look nice. You may be one of those people, pound number 2, where you need to dress up when you go somewhere and don't feel bad because I'm the same way. Like I don't like going out looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to look nice. You know, even if I try to do the minimum, people still make it seem like, girl, that's still a lot. But you know, it just makes me feel comfortable knowing that I look good going out versus just going out looking any type of way. Okay, so pile number 2, people stare at you because you have this very luxurious style, you know, and people may be mesmerized by your perfume or cologne. So there may be like a certain scent you have. So if you go somewhere like all the time and people see you, they smell your perfume or your cologne and they're like, oh, pile number 2 is here. You know, you could go somewhere all the time and people could see you. Okay, so maybe somebody here could even be like a doctor, you know, or you work in mental health and people see how, you know, you've built a business out of that, or how you work in a certain company. So somebody who could be a doctor, a nurse, therapist. Okay, you want to do those kind of things. Then this is just confirmation, but it's like people can see that. Like with the Virgo look, it's like you're a perfectionist when it comes to your style and how you how you operate. You know, you always produce good work, especially if you have a business. It's like you produce good work. The next card that we have is hunting. So this card is about being very ambitious. And again, there's jewelry sticking out. So there's something about your necklaces, your jewelry, just your sense of style. People really like that. And they stare at you because of that. But also it's like they can see that you're always aiming for more. So somebody here could be a Sagittarius because it's like you're always wanting to expand, or you could just have prominent Sagittarius placements here. Take what resonates. But with vulnerability, like I said, you may talk about your emotions online, or you may help other people through their emotions. So take what resonates. There's something with you having a business or a tie to mental health or the medical field. Okay. This could even be like herbalism as well, like working with herbs, working with promoting like a healthy diet. Maybe you could be a dietitian. You could be doing things like that, but take what resonates. You could be a person that creates content on healthy food or herbs because we have a flower here. So again, herbs. And it's like this bee is coming close to the flower. So again, it's something about your scent. You smell really good. Because I'm hearing the word incense, so maybe you, like, light incense before you leave, and it's like the smell stays on you, or you just have, like, a strong scent similar to, like, an incense or, like, a oil. So maybe you work in the area of, like, aromatherapy, okay, and this is why people stare at you. The next card we have is ending. So you have, like I said, you started from the bottom from somewhere and you worked your way up. You've ended cycles. So maybe if you're a mother here, it's like excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Maybe if you're a mother here, pile number two, it's like you've ended cycles in your family. Like you told yourself, like, my kids are not going to go through the same thing I went through, and you've done better. Okay. You've broken cycles, you've broken generational curses, you've done things differently because you were tired of the same old way. Okay. So there's an ending to certain cycles in your life as well, especially when it comes to finances. Pound number two, like you may have come from a family who just promoted like a workaholic mindset and a poverty mindset, but you had to recreate your relationship with money in abundance. You have to learn that you were worthy of it, and you have to find ways to have that instead of, you know, doing wishful thinking. I feel like you started to become more ambitious. Okay, I feel like you literally started from the bottom, because I'm thinking about, I seen this picture years ago when it was like the person creating Amazon or something, how they started in this little room versus how it is today. It's like that's what I'm getting. So you may be somebody who ships packages and things like that. Maybe you create certain fragrances, okay? And this is why people may stare. But also with this ending card, it was crazy because the fourth house is Cancer energy, right? That's dealing with the past. It's people from your past. It's like they see the abundance you have and they're just like, wow, look at pile number two. Wow, look at pile number two. And I feel like it's like these are people who could, like, they didn't believe in you. They didn't want to support you. Like they were the people who could have like been trying to plant seeds of doubt, but it's like it bloomed. So you see that flower in the picture, it's like something you had, it bloomed. Some type of business you had, it bloomed. Okay. It's successful. Somebody who could have went viral. Okay, and people are just like in utter shock and disbelief because a lot of times when people know you or when you grow up around certain people, they have this idea that they're going to be the star. They're going to be the one to make it. And then they look at you and they're like, this person, they judge you based on what they think, but it's coming from an arrogant point of view because it's like they just assume, they just underestimate, they just count you out. But it's like pound number two, they counted you out, but you didn't need to sit at their table. You created your own table. And now they want to sit at yours when they didn't want you to sit at theirs. You see how the tables turn? Get it? Double entendre. Anyways, yeah, there's been an ending. And I feel like you reached a level in your life where, people can't guilt you. People can't make you feel bad from the past. Like, you may have people try to come back around and make it seem like they need to benefit off your success. But I feel like pound number two, you just really understand, like, you know what? Some of you here could have even invested in like therapy. So you've been healing a lot. Okay. This is why people could be staring as well. Okay. You've been healing, especially with the vulnerability and ending. It's like you're putting endings to certain emotional cycles and patterns that have been unhealthy as well. Like you're speaking to yourself more highly, you're being more positive, and it's just upping your vibration. So it's why people could be staring at you. And I feel like your cologne and your perfume, it smells so, it kind of like hypnotizes people a little bit. Pound number two is something about that where When people smell a scent, it's like they fall in love with that scent. Okay. So people could really love your scent. Again, there's an emphasis on perfumes and colognes, oils, just things dealing with aroma. That's why people stare. And the last card we have is a song by Janae Aiko called Pretty Bird. Okay. Pretty Bird. So that could mean something for you, that song. But it's just something about like your energy just being a light. Because in the song, she keeps saying, "We need your light. We need your light." And in the song, she's encouraging the bird to keep going and to keep trying. Okay. So again, somebody here could have went through therapy, or there's something you do where you help people overcome hard things. Okay. And this is why people stare. Let's read the rest of your channeled messages. So it says you've completed a cycle. Your energy is very nurturing, very sweet. Okay. So you could be a mother here, or you could just mother people in your own, like, you don't have to have kids to be a mother. I feel like that's a hard concept for people to understand, but it's like you may mother people in your own way. Okay. That's why people stare at you. People from the past are watching you. That's what I was picking up, like watching you succeed and be happy. So yeah, just keep those people out of your life and just continue to level up, pal number two, because you got this. Okay. Mwah. Peace. Last but not least, pal number three. Why do people stare at you? Why are people staring? I feel like people feel like you're out of their league, and I don't feel like it's just dealing with looks. I feel like intellectually as well. Like, I feel like pal number three, like, you're very intelligent. You have a lot of knowledge on different topics, and it's like people know that about you. So I feel like people usually want to impress you, especially if they've been around you one time and you were having a conversation. I feel like they were listening to it. It's something like that where people try to learn you, pal number three, so that they can come around. So they may not know anything about a topic, but pretend that they do because they want to impress you. Like, they want to enter your inner world. It's like this secret garden to them. So pal number three, you may be somebody who's a popular loner, and so many people want to impress you. Like I said, like, so many people want you to open up to them. And pal number three, you have the most channeled messages. Um, I don't know. It's this lady that's coming up that I feel like your energy is similar to, or you may listen to her. What's her name? Is it Rico? Let me see. Somebody may listen to her because it's the song called, let me see, because I don't even listen to her. Let me see. I've listened to her when she had this one song with an artist that I like. But yeah, her name is Rico Nasty. And there's this song coming up, and it's called STFU. Okay, so I don't know why that's coming up. I think that your energy may be like a little bit intimidating. So people may want to watch what they say. I feel like people may like want to say the right things, or they may rehearse what they're going to say when they come around you because they want to appear intellectual. Like, people want you to like them, pal number three. I feel like your validation means so much to people because you have those people who are codependent on other people liking them. I don't really feel like you care. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, when you stop caring, it seems like everything comes your way, like even people. So you have this energy of just like, I'm in my zone and I don't really care how people feel about it or how they feel about me. It's like you have that energy and you own it. Okay. So that's a song I got for you. They just started coming up. So you can have that type of aesthetic to you. Okay. Rico Nasty's type of aesthetic, so people could really like that aesthetic. Like, you could have like a edgy or grunge type of aesthetic, or like a very colorful and eccentric. You could have your rising sign in Aquarius, pal number three. Okay. There was this song that I was also picking up. So I'm reading the channel messages, by the way. There was this song I picked up for you, pal number three. And it was a person that I haven't listened to since I was like 10 years old. So like, I used to listen to a lot of R&B. I know y'all are like, girl, what was you doing listening to that at 10 years old? I don't know. I just had a taste for good music always. So I used to listen to this song called Far Away by Marsha Ambrosius, and I just like, when I was channeling the messages for you, pal number three, I heard that song and I'm like, wow. I haven't heard that in years. So it's something about your energy that's so far away. So again, people could feel like they're out of your league, whether this comes to looks, but I really feel like it's in terms of intellect. Like people want to be around you. They want to learn from you. Maybe you're a teacher in some way. You could be a spiritual teacher, or you could be an actual teacher, or you could just teach. Like your energy is like teach, like you teach. Okay, how can I best put this? It's like you lead by example, okay, and people learn from you. So you teach people without having to stand in front of a chalkboard and say, this is how you do X, Y, and Z. It's like people just learn by watching. Okay, so people could feel as though you're here, but you're really not here. If you've ever watched like Love and Hip Hop, Pound Number Three, there's this scene where Rashida, this was like the old Love and Hip Hop like years ago, like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She was like, I'm here, but I'm really not here. It's that energy for you. Foul number 3, it's like you can have 12th house placements, but it's like you daydream a lot. Okay, so could be why people stare at you. Like maybe they're talking to you, or maybe they're trying to get your attention and they can tell that you're zoning out. Okay, so that could be why people stare at you. So I read some of the channel messages. We're going to get into the cards and come back to the rest of the channel messages at the end of the reading. So with the first card being here, pile number 1, we got 5 of Pentacles. So people can tell that you have your guard up. Like people can tell that you don't mind being alone. It doesn't bother you. I feel like for other people, they could get triggered by you, pile number 3, because it could bother them. Maybe you're somebody who goes on solo dates and you may film yourself, or you just may take pictures and you really enjoy going out with yourself. And some people could get triggered by that. So you could have people staring at you, or when you go places, it could be groups of people trying to make you feel uncomfortable because you want to be by yourself. Or you could even have people like, oh, do you want to come sit with us? And you're like, no, I'm good. Like it's that kind of energy where it's like, I'm okay being by myself. And some people just don't understand that because they are so reliant on other people to make them feel better. And it's like you've learned how to fill your own cup, pile number 3. Some people can get jealous of that. That's what I'm picking up. Some people can get upset at that because some people could try to distort that and make it seem like, oh, well, pile number 3 is just selfish. They don't want nobody in their life because they're narcissistic. You have those kind of people that try to distort your energy when really you're preserving yourself. Pile number 3, you're protecting your peace, because I pick up this energy, pile number 3, that you've been through like a lot of disingenuine people, a lot of mischievous people, a lot of just deceptive kind of people. So you do have your wall up for every reason. It's like this energy, I can feel this wounded. And I feel like you're working through these wounds, pound number 3. That's why you're very careful about who you let in, because you don't want your healing process to be stopped because somebody wants to come in and try to put a knife in your back like the other people did. So you're very mindful. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. 5 plus 5 is 10. You've completed a lot of cycles and you don't want those same types of people, that same type of toxicity. So it's very easy, pile number 3, for you to read people and recognize it. That's why you're very selective. And that's why people stare at you, because they hope that they get chosen by you. It's like, think about those basketball teams that people used to want to get chosen. It's like they hope they get picked. Or you ever see those movies where it's like a play and it's like everybody's auditioning for the play and it's like that one person is like, oh, I hope I get it. And then the next day they go see the list and see if their name is on it. That's how your energy is, pound number 3, okay? That is how your energy is. So with the 7 of Swords, so this is what I'm picking up, like people trying to distort that energy and make it seem like, oh, this person is lonely. No, this person is fulfilled. They're projecting. Okay. So you can have people who project, or people who try to make it seem like, oh, some pile number 3 must be up to something because why are they always by themselves? But with the 7 of Swords, it's like you've learned from betrayal. You've dealt with deceptive type of people. You've completed the cycle of that. Okay. Spiritually, you've completed that cycle. That's why you already know when people are toxic. I feel like pile number 3, I feel like when you go to work, because I'm picking up a workplace situation. Okay. When you go to work, you may not be as talkative or like just super friendly because you just vet people before you get to know them. And some people can take that a different way, like, oh, this person is rude. But it's like, no, you just understand that I don't have to go out of my way to be, overly kind to you. I don't know you. And you understand, oh, that's somebody who's entitled. That's somebody who's toxic. Like you can already spot it by how people react to you. So it's why it's such a privilege for people to be in your life, because you want healthy individuals in your life, people who do the inner work, people who are accountable, people who have a relationship with God. Okay, not people who are always personality hopping, trying to see who they can be, trying to see who they can destiny swap with, being insecure and projecting that and trauma dumping. Like you don't want any of that. And I feel like you've been through that. That's the energy I'm picking up. Like you've had to clear out a lot of energy. I feel like you've even done like fasting rituals. You've done detoxing on your body, deleting people off social media, deleting numbers, changing your number, getting a new phone, moving, I feel like you've done so much spiritually to cleanse yourself and heal yourself of the past, and you've done a good job. And that is why you're very selective. It's like you have discernment. Pile number three, I feel like throughout all these experiences, your discernment has been, heightened. And that's why people stare at you too, because I feel like people feel like you can see through them and read them sometimes because you do stay to yourself. So you could alarm people. That's what that seven of swords is too. It's like you can spot deception. You can spot when people are, doing the most behind the scenes. There's something about you just having those spidey senses, okay? And that's why people may stare at you because they don't want you to pick up on what's really going on. Especially if this is a workplace situation, I'm getting that. Okay. You may like the work alone too, with the 5 of Pentacles, and it doesn't bother you. It's, like, very peaceful. Because somebody here could be introverted, okay, but you have to be extroverted for where you work at, but you really prefer, like, to be alone, okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the next card we have is teach me your ways. So, again, you could teach in some way, like I said, whether that's through example, whether it's online, or whether you actually teach in front of a group of children or adults, okay? Or teens, okay? Somebody here could be a TA. You could be in school, okay? So that's why people may want to impress you. So maybe this could be people that you have classes with, pile number three, if you're in college. This could be people you have classes with. If you work somewhere, this is people you work with, okay? And I feel like it's giving people from the past. So you may resonate with pile number two, pile number three, okay? Because that was the energy coming up. Because we have Cancer energy again that deals with the past, it deals with history. Some of you may be really good in history. That's why people may stare. Okay. You may know your history or be very connected to your history. I feel like you're very in tune with your emotions, and that's why people stare again. People just feel like you can tell. It's like, those little kids when they know they've done something. Like when you ask them, like, where did that for example, let's say you told them not to touch the chocolate, okay? And you're like, "Where did that chocolate go?" And they're like, "I don't know," but it's smudged on their face and they get that look like, "Oh, I don't want to get in trouble." It's like that's how people feel when it comes to you, pound number 3. Like they get a little bit nervous to be deceptive because you've heightened your intuition, you have discernment. So that's why people may try to put on a facade because they don't want you to see who they really are, but I feel like you see it anyway. One thing about people who put on facades and masks is that they think that everybody like is gonna fall for it. But when you have true discernment, you're gonna see through any mask. You're gonna see through the illusions. And I feel like you do that. Okay. You could scare people a little bit, pound number three, because you just know how they are. And I feel like people are like, wow, like pound number three rejected me, but I knew what I was gonna do to that person. So I feel like your intuition could scare some people, pound number three. The next card we have is Aaliyah, try again. So there could be some people who want to come back into your life, pal number three. That's why I was picking up like people from your past. Like they could want to come back and apologize, but it's like you have your guards up. It's like they cannot. You know what I'm hearing? I don't know if you watch Alice in Wonderland, pal number three, but I'm hearing off with their heads. So it's like you don't associate with people from the past, okay? It's like those kind of people are not, people you go to sleep thinking about. Like they're not people you really care about. And it's like you're over it, but it's like those people want to come back around and it's like no. The thing about healing is when you take your power back and you cut those cords, people can feel that. People can feel that. That's why they come back around because they want more of your energy. Sometimes people are living off of your energy, especially when you're very high vibrational or when you're chosen and when you have a light. Yes, people can do that. Research it. I always tell people to research things if they don't believe me because people love to have emotional opinions or I think, but it's like, baby, go educate yourself, do the research because then you can formulate an educated opinion. Because we all have opinions, yes, but when it's uneducated, it doesn't make any sense and it's not plausible in an argument, okay? So yeah. Anyways, you have people wishing that they could come back because they see this beautiful garden that you've grown. And I feel like this secret garden is metaphorical. So this secret garden could be so many different things, but I really feel like it's your energy, your presence, and even your home. It's like people just want to be near you because your energy helps people grow. It's like you're a gardener, pile number 3 of souls. That's the best way I can put it. It's like you can plant them and give them the soil and the nourishment and the sunlight and the water through your energy. Okay, so this is all metaphorically speaking. You do this through your energy and it heals people. So you have people wanting to come back for that energy, and they could have been siphoning that energy, but it's like you took your power back. You've cut those cords. That's why I was hearing off with their heads. Because when she did that, she was done with those people. That symbolized her being done. Okay. So the next card we have is calm. So I feel like you, and then this talks about a snail. So it's like you have worked through your healing slowly. It's like you didn't try to hurry up and rush. I feel like you've worked through things and it's taking you time, because I'm picking up this energy of somebody who feels like a little bit of a late bloomer. I feel like pattern number 3, you may get mad at yourself, like, why didn't I notice that this person, had red flags? Like, give yourself grace, pound number 3, okay? I feel like you still could be a little bit resentful towards yourself, like unconsciously, because you may feel like it was you not listening to your intuition, which it was, but it's also you just being a beautiful person and wanting to love people and wanting to be loved back, okay? And you can't fault yourself for that. That just shows that you were a genuine person and they were not, okay? So people could, see your energy as very calm. It's like you can be by yourself and you don't look worried or sad. So people can stare at you and wonder, like, how is this person so calm and they're alone? Like, people literally panic when they're by themselves. Pound number 3. Like, it's certain people who cannot function without a companion, and it just really scares people that you can do that, especially if you're somebody that's attractive. Pound number 3, you could have people that try to make you seem like you're stuck up, but really you just stay to yourself because you know how people are. And I feel like you're waiting on, meeting equally yoked people, Mike. Ugh, I got tongue twisted. Like-minded people. You want to meet like-minded people and individuals who are on your level. So I feel like you only tolerate people who can meet you at that intellectual capacity. Because if they can't, you already know how the connection is going to go. You already know. The next card we have is clarity. So I feel like people have gotten clarity on you. So I feel like people have been looking at your social media a lot, because I'm feeling like there's somebody has an online presence, and if not, it's just like when you post online, it's just something about your energy where people can just tell that you're happy, you're thriving, you have this protection up against yourself. People can see that. Maybe you have a private account too. Okay, or you have a limited amount of friends, or there's a lot of things that are private on your account. Okay, so this is what people could be looking at and staring at. Okay, they may not be able to access a lot on your social media. Okay, the next card that we have is purity with this butterfly. So you've had this transformation, and I feel like it's in terms of your discernment, because I feel like you've done a whole 360, pound number 3. Maybe you could have been somebody who was always chatty and talking about what they were going to do and their plans, and now it's like, nope, I'm gonna stay by myself. Y'all are weird. Bye. It's like you understood when spirit isolated you because you took that time to work on yourself. So people, you may have been MIA for some years, and it's like now you're popping back out and people are staring at you because they're like, wow, this person is healed. With the purity card, this person is healing. This person is understanding. And I feel like you have more clarity on yourself. So pile number 3, maybe you get spiritual readings, or you watch tarot readings like you're watching this one. And you may read books, or you may take personality tests. It's like you've gotten some type of clarity on who you are and why you are the way you are and your mission here on this planet. I feel like you've gotten like answers to questions that you've always wanted to be answered. So I feel like you operate at a higher level of integrity and self-love because you know that you're here for a bigger purpose, regardless of people's opinions and beliefs. Okay. So yeah, pile number 3. Yours has been the longest, okay? Let's get into your channel messages and then we're gonna end the reading. Okay. So for some of you, you may be at a distance from people who were once connected to you and they long for their presence, okay? So people may also feel as though they don't measure up to you. That's why they can stare at you, okay? People also reminisce about the good times they had with you. So again, you have people on your account. I'm seeing that. So I feel like people look at your account and they marvel at how much you've grown. And I feel like people kind of get sad because they think that they start to realize how if they would have just believed in you, or if they would have just like stayed around, like they could have been here with the success you have or with the new person you have become. And it's like, nah, because it's like you didn't want to be there with me when I was creating it, but you want to be at the finish line. That's not the kind of connections that you want to have. Okay. So people could just see that you stay to yourself. You ooh, pile number 3, you remind me of myself a little bit because you could be the person who does not like to be too close to people in a public setting. Like you may sit far away on purpose, or you just don't like people touching you and brushing up against you. Like that may irritate you. And that's why people could stare at you because they could be like, oh, I didn't mean to offend that person, but it's just like you don't like people being that close, especially like for example, I'm picking this up like there was this video I seen on Facebook a long time ago where this lady was parked in her car eating her food, and it was a big parking lot, and she parked there because nobody was there. So why did somebody come park right next to her when it was a whole empty parking lot where that person could have parked somewhere else? Like that's the kind of energy you give pound number 3. Like you don't like people being that close to you. That's irritating. That's aggravating. So, you may like move away from that person or you may give that person the look. So that's why people may stare at you, especially if this is public. Okay. Like if you go out in public, I get that you do not like people being too close to you. Okay. People could get offended by that, but it's weird because it's like, why do you need to be that close? Why? And I understand wholeheartedly pound number 3, okay? So people from the past are wanting to be around you, so it's a lot of past energy here. I feel like you've transmuted a lot from the past, which is why a lot of it is coming back up because those people now have to sit with the energy they created because once you take your power and your energy back, other people can't harvest off of it, okay? So you don't mind being alone. You give off popular loner vibes, which we talked about. You're very intelligent, intellectual. You could motivate or teach people to think differently than the masses and what they've been taught. Okay. So also I get here that you look very relaxed. So even if you're somebody who could have social anxiety, even if you could be somebody who has social anxiety, it's like you look very relaxed. Okay. Give me just a second, flower babies. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody had just called me in the middle of this. But yeah, as I was saying, pal number 3, it's like it's something about you. You may think that you look nervous to people, but you don't. Okay, so you have this demeanor. Like you may resonate with pal number 1 as well. Being nonchalant. Okay, but on the inside, it's like you're working on the social anxiety. And I feel like it's just because you're very sensitive to energy. People could stare at you because they recognize that, okay? Especially if you do something online, okay? But yeah, people also feel as though you're very kind and that you genuinely care about others. Like that's why people want to get into your inner world because they know how much you love, especially people from the past. Like they know how deep you love. But I feel like you should always give that love to people who deserve it, pound number 3. So thank you so much, pound number 3, for coming to this reading. That was the end. Mwah. Peace.